God damn it.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Take the truth. I'll set you free.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Face the Truth. It has been a long ass time since I've done a podcast because I'm slowing down a little bit because I've been very busy with work and family and everything else. Doing one a week was a little bit insane. I did that for 3 years. I don't know why. But now I'm trying to just do it every once in a while. So don't worry, I'm still doing it, and I'm going to try to do a few more coming up soon. But anyways, all that aside, things have been going okay. Summer is here and it's too hot. I don't like the hot. Anyways, I'm feeling good right now. I'm in my downstairs studio space and it's nice and chilly, so I feel good. And I'm very excited to talk to my guest. I really, I don't know if I've went over this before, but a really good buddy of mine, Travis Louie, shared her work with me once, and then I've had her on the podcast before. You can listen to the episode. It was a really good talk, but I'm a really big fan of her work, her style, her aesthetic, and this girl's got patience. All right, so besides awesome design and really great ideas, technically it's beautiful work, and I like it a lot, and so I wanted to have her on again to be able to share some of the process with everybody and just kind of talk about maybe what she's thinking and just everything that goes into that creative side of who she is with her art and everything. So that's enough. That's enough of an intro, okay? Anyways, everyone, please welcome Juliet Shreckinger.
Thank you so much.
The one and only, the MH.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. You're always too kind to me on this. You really are. You're my art hero. And I was very grateful that Travis introduced me to your work as well. And I know that you came and taught like a brief class while I was at SVA. And ever since then, I've been mesmerized. So you are amazing.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much for having me. It's always fun.
Yeah, no problem. I like, you know how it goes. Like I like to do this in the most raw, real, that's how I prefer. That's how I prefer when I do stand up. Like if you're going to come see me do stand up, you better be able to handle a few jokes. I did stand up last night, and there's a few people that they didn't. It's so funny because all this stuff that's going on, there's so many people like for years now, they're trying to cancel everybody. Right. And it's funny that I started getting into stand up during that time. And it's like, but I'm also 44 and I don't care about anything anymore. Like, I don't care.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like I'm also not a mean person, but I'm telling jokes, and the whole point is you're trying to cross the line. You're trying to see where the line is, and then try to pull them back and take them with you. And it's supposed to be fun. So it's just kind of funny when you do a show and people are just like, "You said what?" And it's like, it's just a joke. It's a joke. Anyways.
Oh, I gotta come see you do stand up one day. I've always wanted to.
Oh, it's fun. I had a really fun time last night. It was really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was a really great venue. At the Two Brothers Brewery, and so it was this really amazing place and huge stage, packed place. And I thought I was going up early because they asked me as a guest. So usually when you do a guest spot, you only do like 5 minutes, and it's just but I was like, sure, I'll do a guest spot. But they gave me 10 minutes, and instead of putting me on early, they put me on right before the headliner.
That's amazing.
Which was a great spot, and I killed for 10 minutes. Yay. It was great. And then the headliner came out. You should look him up. His name is Adam Burke.
Oh, I will.
He's an Irish comedian, and he was hilarious. I was just like, yeah, damn. I thought I just did good.
Oh, that's awesome. I
but it
love
was cool.
that. I
Yeah,
love
it's so much
comedy
fun.
shows. I would love to come see you one day. If do
Yeah.
you ever play in New York or not
I
anymore?
by one day, I hope so.
Okay.
I actually did a show recently. I did a show on the south side of Chicago at this place called Riddles, and
Ooh.
I had to try out to get on the show, and it was all to do stand up in front of this she's like a talent scout. Her name is Miss Tina,
Oh,
and she's
wow.
from New York, and she's looking for comedian talent and everything. And it was really cool because afterwards she said I was really funny, and she gave me her personal number, and she said anytime I'm in New York or Jersey, she'll put me on a show. So
Yay.
if I get out
Ooh.
there, I'm gonna call her and be like, hey, I'm here. So
Yeah. Oh, I'll definitely come see if it was in New York. That's
yeah,
amazing.
I hope so. I hope to do it. I hope to do
Love
it
it.
everywhere one day. We'll see. I'm having
Yeah.
fun with it, and I'm trying. It's funny because you put so much into your work, and people start to know you. Like I wonder if you can relate with this, like because you do a great job of posting pretty regularly, sharing your work. But do you ever get this thing where if you post something that has nothing to do with your art, people get pissed at you?
Yes, I do. And if you notice, my feed has nothing in it but my art, literally, because I just got tired of it. I'm like, all right, guess it's pointless unless it's a whale riding an octopus and a horse,
Yeah.
No one wants to see me
Because
or anything else.
I look at the stand-up stuff as just like an extension of my art. Like I think it's art,
But that is, yeah,
and
that's different.
but it's like people get mad when I share my stand-up stuff. They're like,
Really?
we don't follow you for that. We follow you for your art stuff. I'm like,
I'm shocked to hear that. I feel like they go hand in hand, kind of. It's like your personality
Yeah.
is,
some people
wow.
like it, but every once in a while I get like this, like I didn't sign up for this to see your jokes and stuff. I'm like, right.
Wow.
Anyways, enough about that stuff.
That's so mean. Well, I like it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I get excited. I'm always like, where is it? Is it close enough in driving distance? Oh, one of these days.
Yeah, mostly I just do Chicago area right now, but we'll
Mhm.
one of these days. It was funny though. Last night when I got there, the club owner, he was really, really nice, and he was like, I got to admit, I'm kind of disappointed at how tall you are. He's like, I thought that you were like a shorter guy, and like you're too tall, and I don't know if I like that. And I was like,
So weird.
I didn't know this was a date. Like I thought I was here to tell some jokes. Like
That's hysterical. That's so strange.
Yeah, it was very weird.
I get the opposite because I'm so short. I'm like, they're like, are you even 5 foot tall? I'm like, almost.
Are you below 5 foot? Oh my god.
With shoes, I'm 5 foot. With
Okay.
shoes.
Yeah.
I always show up
funny.
at the openings and I'm like looking up to everyone. They're like, oh wow, you're little.
Yeah, my ex-wife was really short. Yeah, it was amazing. So that was amazing when I started dating my current wife. She's 5'9", and so it was like, wow, this is weird. Like hugging a woman that I can like look in her eyes.
I know my boyfriend doesn't have the luxury. He's like 6 foot tall. I'm always like,
Yeah,
where'd you go?
it's so funny. He knows
That's funny.
exactly what the top of your head looks like.
Yes, exactly.
But so before we get into the art stuff, what kind of stuff have you been up to lately? What's been going on?
It's been crazy lately. I've been like a whirlwind. So I graduated school, which was like a race to the end. I feel like I was dragging myself, like, trying to complete
Congratulations.
everything.
It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be done. I finished in May, and then I had a solo show lined up with a great gallery in Philly, and I really wanted to, pull it together, but that was a pretty tight timeline because of the final work I had to do for school. So I did it. I finished all the pieces, but it was pretty crazy. And then I had the opening, and I drove out to Philly. I stayed there for like a week, and I just was having a great time. So it's been crazy, but good crazy, all good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Were you able to sell some work?
I did. I sold the centerpiece and a few others. I think there's like 3 available or 4 available still out of a 7-piece show. And it'll be hanging the rest of the month. So I'm very excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always like my dad was just telling me, because he does a lot of shows, and he it's just funny. Like it's funny how the art world works, because like he was like, yeah, I'm so excited. I got part of this huge show. I think it's in New York, if I remember correctly.
Oh, nice.
And he's like, yeah, but it's like, you know, it'd be great if my painting sells. I don't know if it's gonna sell, but I have to. You have to send it in a special box that they tell you to send, and it costs this much money and costs this much. He's going on and on and on. He's like, why and the gas prices these days and blah blah blah.
Oh.
And he's like, by the time my painting gets there, I've spent so much money, and he's like, and if it sells, it's like, you know, he's going on and on to me about it.
No, it's hard times for that type of stuff.
Oh.
It is. That's why I like the one in Philly, because I do show on the West Coast a lot, and it's always like, for like one piece for a group show, it costs like more than the piece. So for Philly, I could drive it out there at least. I drove the solo show there, which is nice because shipping is like killer these days.
Oh,
killer.
It's so annoying. Yeah, it's really crazy. Like I just went to up to North Wisconsin last weekend, and it was great. Got to go fishing and with my brother and dad and everything. But they thought it was funny because I was like, wow, the gas prices are so low up here. And it's really weird because their gas prices are like $4.50, which
that is low compared to
like,
Long Island.
yeah, like here it's like almost $6.
Yeah, same.
And they're like, this is this is high. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, I mean it is high.
Yeah,
but it's way higher, right? Like, so this is great. Like, I mean, but it's frustrating that I get excited about $4.50 gas. Like, I don't know, man.
I feel that so much. Going to Philly was like the cost of shipping. Honestly, it's not even like that much better. No, actually, that's not true. It is for a whole show. I guess it is better, but still, gas price is still crazy.
How much is it in New York? The gas prices?
like kissing like $5.50. You know, it's gotten up there. Like if you go to certain areas in Long Island, like if you go more towards the east end, like Montauk, it's like much higher. I live in Amityville, so it's kind of like middle of Long Island. It's not as bad, but still bad.
Okay, that's yeah. I haven't been to Chicago for a while, so I'm not sure what the gas. I'm sure they're like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's $6 or more in Chicago.
In the big cities, it is. I know if you go into the city, it's like that. So in New York, yeah.
It's terrible, man. I haven't had a full tank of gas for like a while. Like it's basically just like fill it up here and there.
Yep.
No, wait. Was that you or me?
I think that's you.
I think it's me. I never hear sirens here. That's like one of the first times in a long. I felt like I was in Chicago again.
Oh no.
No, where did you say that you are? You're in Amityville, or
if you know, like the weird
Jaws,
Amityville
right?
horror house. Yes.
That's where they filmed Jaws, right?
And Jaws, yes, and Jaws. Yep. Amityville is from Jaws and that weird creepy house. Yes.
Do you guys have actually have great whites around there?
Oh, it's funny you said that. There were like 3 shark bites today.
Really?
Yep, a big great white. It was actually really sad because I know the feeling is mutual, as we've talked about, that you're a shark lover too. But
I love sharks.
They keep washing up on the beach, the great whites, and people are killing them. And it's really, really upsetting on Long Island. I wish they would chill. But yeah,
they're killing them and just like putting them back in the water, and then they're showing up dead.
They're killing them a lot of times on boats. There's like a lot of finning, and then some of them, it's like the babies, because there's a hatch. I'm forgetting the word for it. It's not a nest. It's like whatever they call a shark nursery off the coast of Montauk. So a lot of the babies, like that aren't, adults, they're not as intelligent. They come very close to the shore, and not knowing, they kind of like bite someone's foot or something. So when people see them, they just like kind of on spot try to fish them and kill them. But it's just sad because they would grow up and probably be fine. But as babies, they come so close to the shore, and a baby great white is still kind of big. Yeah,
like 9 feet, 7 feet.
Yeah. It's crazy. If you look up Long Island right now, it's like Shark City.
You know what's funny about that is like that's awesome. Here's the thing. I was just talking about this on my Patreon. I actually did a painting of a great white this morning. Like I
just commented on your Instagram.
Okay.
I was just about to bring that up. It was so good. I love it.
Oh, thank you. It's I think I'm gonna finish. I was just gonna do it like for like an hour or so, but I got so into it. I'm like, I think I'm gonna keep working on it, and I think I might actually try to take that and expand on it and do like a caricature of that, like push it further or something. But
oh my god, I'd be so excited. Please do that.
I love sharks so much. But I was just talking about how, just how misunderstood people don't understand. Like there's some of my favorite videos are the aerial views of people on the beaches surfing, swimming, and there's great whites swimming in between people all day. And nobody knows.
Yeah.
Like
love
they're
that.
They're there. all the time.
Yes, they are.
And it's just like, you are like, I think it's terrible when someone gets attacked, obviously, right? But you are in their their world. They're like,
Yep, that's their home.
It's like if I go to Wisconsin and I'm hanging out with my brother, and like I was saying how we heard wolves howling while we're out by a campfire. It was really cool, but they were very close and it was kind of getting scary.
Yeah.
We stayed outside and looked at the stars and had a good time. If we got attacked, our fault.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but that's
we're out in their nature. It's
yeah,
like,
and I agree with you.
I'm just saying I'm not surprised. Like, it's not,
Yeah.
Don't be shocked that a shark bites, but it's very rare, right?
It is very rare. Yeah. And it's very rare that it's like, even where it'd be something very complicated, like even the small bites, like you just need a few stitches most of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking away from the fact that sometimes it can be very serious. It's just that it makes me sad because the sharks are, I hate when they're killed. It's just very, very sad to me. They're such amazing creatures.
I actually tried to work on a bit that's not really developed all the way yet, so forgive me, but I was like saying, like, talking about sharks. People are so afraid of sharks. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you have better chance of getting shot in a mass shooting than getting bit by a shark.
Sad but true.
It's true. Yeah. And I did that at an open mic. People were like, oh, but I'm like,
Oh no.
I'm like, let's get rid of you got a better chance of get hit by lightning quote. That's outdated. It should be, you got a better chance of getting shot at a school shooting.
You're not wrong.
So
I think that's
anyway,
sad but true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
No, I get so mad when people do that, like when they do the finning things with sharks. It just pisses me off.
Those pictures make me so mad. I was reading this article and it was like 1,000 things that are like more likely to kill you. It was like you're more likely to die by like vending machine death than like shark. There was like 1,000 like other things. The poor sharks, man. They get such a bad rap. They're so like, they're actually so docile. Like there's so many of them. They're so docile.
Most sharks don't attack people. Most species.
Yeah.
And like I got to swim with sharks one time, and they told us, don't hold your breath because like the bubbles scare the sharks. And they said, don't hold your breath so that the bubbles don't come out, so you can get closer to the sharks, because that's not good. You could die. So, but I did that like one time. The diver was like going like this, let us know there's sharks coming, and I was like, like so I could get closer to them.
That'd be me.
Yeah, because as soon as the bubbles came out, they go like this and they swim away, and you're like, oh. But anyways, oops. So anyways, enough about that. So what I'm going to do, because I want to talk about your work, and again, at some point, it's only letting me do 40 minutes, and so in the next 20 minutes, we're gonna have to restart it over. But for 20 minutes, we can start getting into stuff. Awesome. So let me figure out how to do this. I think right here. Okay, so you should be able to share your screen now.
Awesome. So I have like two major things. So I just finished that show, and it's called Out of Water. So I wanted to show like a bit of that work because I worked really hard on it, and it fits right into our theme. There's a big shark piece, and it is all about like ocean animals that are, none of them are seen in the water. So that's like the whole theme of the show. And then I also put a few videos, and I showed some progress pictures of how I made them. Let me just share.
Cool.
My screen. Okay.
Awesome.
So this is the first piece. The whole show is about like the connections that the animals have to each other and to like their place in time and history. So I based the show a lot around, I would do a lot of environmental work with Pangea Seed, Surfrider Foundation, and a few other like ocean protection organizations. And it was on my mind a lot. So this was the first piece.
And can we explain to people real quick too? I want like just let them know like what is this on paper, like illustration board?
Sure.
And it's, you do like some stuff with charcoal and whatever, but it's a lot of pointillism.
Yeah.
Inks or
it's like such a weird process. It's all stipple and ink. So the character is all stipple with a 003 micron pen. And then the backgrounds are done in graphite, and I call it like brushed graphite because a lot of times I'm like using different tools to blend the graphite in, and then just pencil for like a lot of the bottom objects or like side objects. Like there's a one with a lighthouse that's in graphite. But yeah, and they're all on paper. I work exclusively on Arches hot pressed paper, and I find it just has the best texture. And
So
that's it. Yeah.
so so like the values like on the squid,
Yeah.
that's like the grayish tone. That's all. Is that like a brushed in, or is that all just from the dots?
All dots. So it's completely
Oh wow.
dots.
Okay.
And then when I
That's
do the
so
brushed
awesome.
graphite, like I'll erase out and make it even like a stronger highlight in some of the areas, but
Mhm.
it's not like I'm taking the pencil and shading over the stipple typically.
See, that's what I wanted people to see. Is what's so cool about this is just the that's what I love about this kind of stuff too. Is like it's got such a soft look. You see from a distance, and it just you have these different value ranges. But the fact that it's just all like dots is amazing.
Thank you.
I've done a few pieces like this in the past before, and it's very satisfying. But it's the you know, and you can get some amazing results, but it's definitely a test of patience. You know?
I know, I'm so weird. I love it though. I
Yeah.
honestly love it. Like it's very fun to me. I think it's really like relaxing and meditative,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, it does
That's-
take a lot of time, and I usually warn people like if you want to get into it, maybe start with a little bit of a bigger pen so it's not too frustrating, because my pen is like the size of a needle. It's kind of kind of excessive.
I used to do it with actual pen and ink, and
Wow.
it was frustrating because you know every once in a while you get a little bit too much ink, and it's just well, it's screwed up,
Yeah.
man.
No, that's so annoying. That's like very hard. I
Oh,
have a
this
lot of
is
respect for that.
amazing.
This is the next piece. This is our shark friend, as we spoke
Yeah.
about. This is a thresher. Obviously, his tail is a bit
Yeah.
exaggerated, but
Yeah.
a fun one.
No, that's so awesome. It's such a, and one thing why I like your work so much is that it's just, first of all, I love the idea of the sea and the creatures that's just, you know, brings me in right away. The lighthouses, the combination, everything. But then your designs are so fun.
Oh, thank you.
How, like, what, when you do a piece like this, what's the beginning stage where you like, I mean, are you seeing, do you think of the idea before you start, or do you kind of just start playing around with it, like sketching and stuff?
I think for, you know, single pieces, usually it's kind of that, like I'm just playing around, sketching and coming up with ideas. But for this show, since I had a pretty specific goal, I thought a lot about like which animals I wanted to include. And I knew from the start, like that I wanted my thresher shark character to be one of them. So that being known, I traveled all the way like from coast to coast last summer shooting references of different lighthouses. So this is my photograph that I referenced to draw this, and I took the lighthouses and the scenery that I wanted to include and then sketched the different animals for the show on top of that photo in my iPad. And the shark, like then that's how I started to compose it. So I had a list of animals, I had reference photos, and I kind of tried to combine the two to make a narrative.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
How big are these pieces, by the way?
So that thresher shark piece was 7.5 by 9.5. This piece is 12 by 14 inches. So pretty big, like for me, you know, I don't work huge because I can't in the time frame, of course. But you know, 12 by 14 is a nice size, you know, it's not too small.
Oh, this is so cool.
But this is another one. And this piece.
This is awesome, man.
Thank you. It was a really fun show to design. I had a lot of fun with it. This is the centerpiece. This was a really big one. This was 16 by 16, which was pretty big for me.
Yeah, that is so cool, man. I love the just the concepts are so cool. And I think I said this like this right here, this is an album cover. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I don't know for who, but this would make a perfect album cover.
You're the best. I think I mentioned too, that was like a dream I've always had. I've always wanted to do an album cover. So that would be very cool. I
mean, it just like, that's just great. I mean, what I was going to say is, I think I said this last time, like, and I don't know, some artists are like, oh, what, t-shirts, like, but like I would wear t-shirts like this, like, you know what I mean? Like they look like perfect. Like the designs are so, like, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but a lot of times I see artists like do Etsy things or whatever these things are trying to sell artwork on t-shirts, and I'm always like, I would never wear that.
Yeah.
You know, but this is so cool looking. It's just awesome.
Oh, thank you, Jason. I have looked into t-shirts. I really do want to do
Probably do
some
pretty
type
good
of that. I would love that, honestly. I think that'd be really fun.
I mean, you're creating such amazing images. You could just be making some extra money, you know?
Thank you. I'm definitely going to look into that. Definitely. Now that I'm done with school, I have more time. I can, finally start like my professional life in a real way. And I'm really happy about that. So there's definitely some things I want to do for sure.
Yeah, these are just such great designs. It's so cool.
Thank you. I'm very honored you think so. So that was the whole show. And then I pulled up this quick, let me share my screen one more time. I put this up because a lot of people do ask. It's a really short clip. But a lot of people ask me what the process actually looks like. So I had this prepared. Are you able to see that?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this is in real time. So that's how fine the pen is. And it's just like a glimpse into how I do it. And then this is the graphite.
That's so awesome.
This is a lot of hours condensed, of course, but
yeah,
it's fun though. It's a really fun process. I like it a lot. I think it's rewarding.
It looks cool too. Like I like the just the two different, like the pen with the graphite has such a nice, mix. It's cool too, just for this, that the graphite it pushes it back in the distance more.
That's what I like. You can achieve different contrast than if it was just with the one. I think that's like the main reason I love it so much. But awesome. It's really fun. Yeah, very fun. So that's was my cool show. And then if I have another minute, I could show what I'm working on now for the future. So
yeah, I wish I could share with you like this. I can share with you privately, but I recently just did another cover for Mad Magazine, and it's a silly cover, but it's been fun because I don't know how familiar you are with Mad, but they like some of my favorite artists are like from like the early like 70s and 80s. Hold on a second. The meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay. So just getting a warning here. So they've been wanting me to do like these kind of vintage style covers.
Oh, I love that.
Like, to look like Norman Mingo and different things. So I'm kind of been mixing my style with like a vintage style. So it is a little strange look because like this new cover, it almost looks more like a children's book illustration. It doesn't look normal, like my normal style maybe.
Yeah.
But it was fun because I got to paint the main guy underwater. So there's an octopus, there's a swordfish, there's clams, there's all this.
Oh, I love that. I want to see.
So it's gonna come. It'll come out soon, but I'll give you a tease before we leave. But I got to do a hammerhead shark, but I made his head actual hammer.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Oh my god, I can't wait to see. That is amazing.
Fun. But anyways, it's when I was even though it was silly and cartoony, it's so much fun drawing sea creatures and stuff. It's so much fun.
There's just something about them.
Oh yeah,
they're just fun.
So so this is like a photo of the lighthouse and then showing like your concepts.
So this is for what I'm working on right now is my next solo show is in Portland, Oregon. It opens late October, and I wanted to show like a true process step by step of kind of how I do the drawings, because I do get asked a lot like what is the initial, like how do I start, and I never really have a good answer, so sometimes I think pictures help. So this is a piece I'm working on right now. This is a real lighthouse called Owl's Head Lighthouse in Maine. So I'll visit the lighthouse and I bring this tiny sketchbook with me, and in person I'll sketch, like I'll move around the lighthouse and sketch from different angles and then sketch little characters right on top of it. So this is literally like maybe a 2-minute sketch, 3-minute sketch. And I'll say, okay, I think my owl, obviously I want an owl because it's called Owl's Head Lighthouse. That's fun. So I'll take this sketch. Then I'll take reference photos from the angles that I want to draw it at. So these are my photos. And then I'll go on my iPad and I'll do like a very finished looking, not very finished, but a more finished outline of where I want that character to be, kind of on my reference photo. Then I'll make a very complete sketch, which I didn't have a scan of, but it's just a very complete pencil sketch. Then I'll take my pencil sketch and project it onto the Arch's expensive paper because I don't like to sketch next. It's too much money if I mess up.
Yeah.
And then that's what this looks like. So this is my finished sketch of the outline before I start inking it. So it's just like a very tight pencil sketch with no shading or anything. And then I start stippling. And so this is a serious crop of the character.
That's awesome.
And then this is like that character in previous work. So it's the same character just to show like what it'll look like towards the end. He'll be kind of like in a position like this, but against the lighthouse. But it's just a more step-by-step of how I do what I do. So I do think seeing the places and things that I draw in person helps a lot. And I always say like I always feel much closer to the lighthouses or the locations that I'm drawing if I actually have seen them in person. But I thought that was an interesting thing to show.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's awesome. It's cool too how you're having like a themed character that you kind of like, you know, because like it's great for like when people start, you know, following you as a fan. And it's like, oh, you know, it's another. When am I gonna see, you know, George the Owl again, or whatever.
Yes, Waldo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, that's really cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Thank you. It's exciting stuff. I'm very excited for the future and happy to be doing it. Very lucky.
No, it's looking great. I mean, your stuff is so much fun, and like I said, I really love the there's so many things you could do, like either like the children's books, or I mean, there's so much out there that I think that it fits. And the thing I think I talked about with you last time about it is that your style has such an original look to it. So
Thank
you really have like something really cool going for you. So there's
really
a lot that
appreciate
you could
that.
do with that, you know?
That's very encouraging to me. I definitely have interest in children's books. I've actually always thought about, that's why I actually went for illustration and not fine art. Well, one of the many reasons is because I do want to one day do children's books. I think it'd be really cool to do like a black and white vintage looking children's book. I haven't really seen that done today. And I think that'd be really interesting. Maybe a nautical with my characters. So that's definitely something that's in the works and that I would love to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. My wife and I have actually been talking about doing a children's book together, and like mixing, like, you know, like that shark I did.
Love it.
I was thinking of doing a children's book where like I'll work digitally and in that style. So it's really loose, but still, you know, it's a mix of realism, but painterly and kind of slightly cartoony.
Nice.
And then when we go to like, this is just a rough idea, but when we go to like talking about, because I think we want to do it about emotions and teaching children about emotions. And like when you go and you talk about something that happened in the past, it'll be one of her paintings or something. So it'll like be like, she'll work in oil. And so it'll just be cool to have like the mix of art. So I don't know. It's something we've been talking about lately because I've always wanted to do a children's book.
That's so wonderful. Her art is incredible. I think I saw it on your page. Did she paint your dog recently?
Well, not recently, but I shared it. Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah, she's incredible too. That's amazing. I will definitely buy that book one day if you do it. That's an amazing idea. Really amazing.
We've been talking about like because I'm trying to get her out there more, because she had to take a break from painting for a couple of years because we have 2 little babies.
Yeah.
And,
they're so cute. I know.
And she's starting to get to that. She's starting to get like antsy and like, I'm not just a mother, you know, which is true, you know, like,
absolutely.
So I'm trying to, we're going to actually try to get a website for her soon going again, like, cause she's starting to work on new pieces. She might actually be painting upstairs right now. I'm not sure. But like, I just want to try to get her going out there again, cause she's a really good painter.
Yeah.
What's interesting about her is like, she doesn't really draw. Like, she's not into drawing. She just loves painting. And so when she does her work, she just starts with paint right in it and just it's like,
that's like serious skill.
Well, it's
respect.
Weird because it's like I'm so like, I gotta plan it out.
Yeah, me too.
Sketch it. I got transfer. I got, you know.
Yeah.
And she's just chaotic, but that's how she works. So
wow, I love that.
That's cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
But anyways, we got to stop in a second, but I want to talk a little bit more.
Sure.
So we're going to have to stop and let this render. But if you want, I don't know if you have other pieces of work that you have saved, and I thought it'd be cool just to kind of go through some of your work and just
Sure.
look at it and talk about it. So I'm going to stop this and then call you back, and then we'll continue on. Does that sound
Sounds awesome.
cool? All right, cool. And I'm also
Thank
going to get
you.
myself a coffee. So
Awesome.
okay, we will continue this in just a minute. So let
Thank
me.
you.
Cool. Okay. Well, we're back, and I think we have like 30 minutes left because we just
Awesome.
talked for 10 minutes. But anyways, this has been so cool. Looking at your work, and I love, every artist has like their own way of working, and I don't know if you can relate to this, but I mean, when you work on a piece like the pieces that you were showing, I'm sure you have like a very specific like technique and approach, and I do this, and then I do this, and then this. It's weird because for me, I do that sort of, but I really like I kind of paint differently almost every time. Like I don't know, it's like I don't have like a set formula, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I was just curious, like how you approach like your process is like do you find yourself while you're working on it just feeling something different and just going in a different way? Because I guess what I'm trying to say is like it's as long as I've been doing this and as long as I've been teaching and everything else, I feel weird sometimes, like I shouldn't be doing this teaching and different things, because even though I've been doing it this long, I still feel like sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm just paint, like that shark that I did today. I literally, like the video, and people watch it, they're probably gonna be like, because I was all over the place. I didn't know what I was doing. Like wow, I just was like blocking in shapes, and I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just kind of putting color down and playing, and I'm not. But if you were to interrupt me and I'm supposed to explain why I did what, I wouldn't be able to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Absolutely.
kind of, it's almost like playing the blues or something.
Yeah.
So I wonder like if you experience that because I think I would imagine you get lost like in like, because like you said, it's kind of like almost meditative because you're just like, and you realize like, oh, I've been driving asleep this whole time. Like,
yeah, I absolutely do that. I 100% completely feel you on that. I find myself doing that a lot. I'll like zone out for like 3 hours and be like, wow, I guess I just wanted to do the wing that way, and I just hadn't done it before that way or approached it like that. And I do have kind of, I guess, a more rigid process than it sounds like you might approach it with, just because I'm a little bit like obsessive about certain things. So I do like it like a very specific way when I work. Like after many times of like ripping it up, like halfway through, realize that I have to start with the face of the animal. Like let's say I'm doing like that owl. Like a lot of the times I find if I do an incredible wing and I sat there for 3 hours rendering this wing and I'm so happy with the wing, I get very like uncomfortable and start getting very tight and rigid when I go to do the face, because I know that's kind of like where I want the eye to go. Like I want you to see the expression between these two characters. So I've come to find if I want to just chill out and enjoy the piece, the best place for me to start is the faces of the animals. And then I'll move all around the piece. And from there on, usually if I do the face good and I'm like, okay, I like the expression they're giving each other, then I am loose. I'm happy. I throw on an audiobook, music, movie, and just can sit there for like 37 hours just like happy and making dots, but otherwise I do agree with you. Yeah, it can be like all over the place and different ways of approaching it after I've done the face.
Yeah, I'm just curious because like I don't know, like I'm supposed to do a workshop next week for Schoolism, a 3-hour webinar, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. like
you're an amazing teacher, you could do anything.
Yeah, but it's like I'm being serious. Like I feel like I don't know what I'm doing a lot of the times. As far as like I'll see there's certain artists that I'm blanking on certain names right now that I'm thinking, what's his name? I don't know, this guy, I cannot believe I'm blanking on his name right now, but he does a lot of stuff for Schoolism, and I've watched him talk and everything, his paintings, and and he's like, oh man, I love your paintings and stuff. And I'm like, oh, thank you. But then like I listen to him talk and I'm like, this guy, like he just has like this understanding of the color and all these different crazy things. Like he's explaining these things. And I'm more like, I don't know. I just paint it.
Me too.
Like I just paint it. Like
Yeah.
I just feel like there should be a little blue in there, or there should be this or that. And like,
Yeah.
I feel like, James Gurney.
Yeah.
So I love his work, and I have his, I think it's called Color and Light or something like that.
Mhm.
It's an amazing art book, and it's got so much about painting techniques and palettes and stuff. And I'm looking through it. I'm like, man, this guy is like an encyclopedia of just knowledge, and he's so good.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I've never been that way. Like, so I think it's weird that I teach in a way but I mean, I guess it, I do it.
You know what though? Like as someone who could speak from like a student's perspective, because I just graduated and I had a real run of like so many different styles of teaching. I came in contact with so many people, and I feel like there's so many ways to approach how an artist creates something that for the amount of people who want to learn, and I don't know how to put this exactly into words perfectly, but I think that sometimes it takes a certain type of teacher to connect with the student. So you might be the perfect teacher for someone who has the same type of brain as you, who thinks like you. Like you're going to be the teacher they connect with. I've had teachers who are renowned, amazing. I love their work, but I don't understand really how they do what they do, and I don't connect with them. So I feel like there's no right or wrong way to teach. I feel like the best way to teach is to just teach a shit ton of kids. Sorry, I don't mean to curse on here, but teach a lot of kids. And like, there's gonna be that handful that think like you, and you're gonna be like their legendary teacher. Like for me, that was Travis in many ways. Like he would say things and it really clicked because we're similar minded, but to other students, they might love Travis's work, but as a teacher, it's hard for him to express certain things to them. So I feel like you're the ideal teacher for a lot of people. And I feel like that's why it's important. And it's important that you teach it the way that you think it, because you're going to connect with people,
I appreciate that. Yeah. I just kind of feel like as far as like, I always just find it strange. Like even while I'm working on stuff, I kind of, like, I know it'll work out. Just be patient. I feel like when I'm doing my Patreon, sometimes I'm like, I don't like the shark thing I did. I started with a weird shape and I just blocked in things that didn't make sense. I realized while I'm doing, I'm like, I'm just kind of jumping in this. Yeah. Like, and I was saying stuff like, just hold on, it'll get there. Yeah. Because I think that's kind of how I paint anyways, is I just kind of jump in. But the reason I brought it up is I just wonder because I think for me, drawing and painting is it's like a language, right? It's like I've been doing it for so long and it's just a part of me. Yeah. But I've never been, like even my dad's like really into color theory and all this crazy stuff. And I play around with color and palettes and stuff, but I kind of feel like I have like this, I just feel it. And sometimes I don't know why. Like people ask, why did you put a yellow background? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. It just felt cool. And then all of a sudden something happened when I put that yellow down. All of a sudden, wow, this color looks great here. And I just, and I that's why I think, well, the whole reason I even brought this up is I wanted to ask you is that, like, because your work is so like intricate and the pointillism, all that kind of stuff, and you said that you love it. It's like relaxing and everything else. Yeah. But I just wonder, like, how you, like, if you had, I guess I was just curious if there was like different ways you started, because it's so repetitive, like with how you have to do that, that it like, and I guess, I don't know. I guess I was just curious because, like I said, I can hardly ever start a painting the same way. Like sometimes I'll start with the nose, or sometimes I start with an eye. Sometimes I start with a shoulder. I don't know why. Like, and so I think it confuses people sometimes when they're watching me paint stuff, but I'm just like, I don't know. And I think but with what you're doing, your style, I think, kind of demands a certain kind of order, you know?
Yeah, it does. And that's true. It does demand like a certain type of order. And I guess that's like why maybe some people would be turned off to doing it themselves as an artist. Like it is the kind of thing that you got to sort of lock in and be okay with that. And
Yeah.
I think I have made peace with that. Like I'm kind of just like, okay, this is how we start, even if we're not feeling it, because I'll start feeling it when I follow my process and just stick
Yeah.
with it. Because if I don't, you know what it is too, is it's like very unforgiving. And I say that a lot because I have painted in the past and I have had some, at least mild experience with other mediums, and, working with ink on paper for that many hours, it's pretty unforgiving. Like if that pen explodes, that really sucks.
And what
you
do
make
you
the wrong dot. So it's like,
and you seem like a very happy, sweet person, but there's darkness in there. I can tell. So what happens? What happens when that? Because like I have a punching bag in my garage, and so I go out there. I get some aggression out sometimes.
Oh my God, that's hilarious that you say that, because actually what I do on the side is I'm like an amateur boxer.
Really?
I box 3 times a week in the mornings before I start at 7 a.m. That's the only way
That's
that I
awesome.
can. I seriously think that is what makes me so like relaxed while I work. It gets so much energy out of me. Me and my trainer always joke about that. He's like, no one would believe what you do outside the gym, and vice versa. Like it's really funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I just started a while ago and I love it. I do it a couple times a week. I want to do it more regularly, but it's just like it's just hard sometimes. But like I have it in the garage and I wrap the wrist up. I get out there and I just put some tool on.
Nice, but that's what you got to do.
Yeah, punch the bag.
That's funny you say that. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But like I can imagine like working on a piece like that, and then like I mean it's happened to me, so I know it's happened to me before. It's very frustrating, even digitally. I've had things happen to me digitally where I just you want to cry.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
I've done I was working on a deadline one time, and it was for Sports Illustrated, and it was a very important job, and I was so happy with the work, and it was looking really good. And then I accidentally saved the only copy as a small JPEG and sent it to them as an update to show them the process. And I accidentally saved the original. It was just one of those dumb mistakes. And then when I come back to like open the file, it's like small and it's saved that way. And I had nothing else backed up, and it was due the next day.
I don't even know how to respond to that except ouch.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts me.
So I had to blow it up to the 300 resolution size, and I had to paint on top of it. Like I had to use it as my foundation and repaint the whole thing. And it was, so I had to work all night, and there was 5 characters, 5 people in the, 4, it was 4 or 5. There's Tiger Woods in the front, and then there was maybe 3 or 4 characters in the back, and then there's the grass, and then there's the clouds, and then there's the trees and all that stuff. And it was just a nightmare. But that kind of thing it's like you just want to put your head through a wall or like.
Yeah, you do. And that's when we go punch things. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's true. It's very difficult when stuff works against you like that. Like, and it's, it's life happens, stuff happens, but it's very frustrating. And it's definitely something that I mentally struggle with, because it's such like a tedious style that like, I get very stressed towards the end. I'm like, don't come near my studio with that cup of coffee. Stay back.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, everyone stay away from me. Don't breathe on it. But it's true,
Do you do you take on private commissions, or is it mostly people you just do what you want and then someone buys it? Because I imagine like doing a private commission, they're gonna have to be patient. It's like, how long does it usually typically take to finish a piece?
A long time. It takes a long time, but I work like genuinely like 12 hours a day. So I'll say like a piece takes like 200 hours, and it does, but
Yeah.
I move kind of fast, and I can I can move pretty quick on it, and it does depend a lot on the size. So I'll just be upfront with people and just say, like, I can do an 8x10 commission in the time frame that you want, not the 24x18. So
Yeah.
a lot about the size too. But
Hmm.
I do private commissions. I do a lot of like I've gotten commissioned a lot for like restaurant apparel, and I've done like logos and stuff. And it's not, always my favorite thing. I do definitely like the gallery work. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I've also done a lot of mural commissions. I have 3 very large murals over in Long Beach, New York, up on by the boardwalk. There's like 3. Those were like fun commissions by the town. But murals
Wow.
take me a long time. I do them in stipple. I actually have like a paint gun that stipples, and it was pretty crazy.
No way.
I do.
That sounds
Yeah,
terrible.
it was intense for sure.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was intense, but I have done it.
I hate, like, I've done murals in the past before.
Oh, you
and
have? I was just about to
I
ask, have you done them?
I hate it.
You do? Why? You don't like it working big like that?
No, I don't like being outside in the sun and all that.
Okay.
Like, and the paint is sticky and it's all this, and it's like, and then but this was a long time. I haven't done it for a long time. But the last time I did it was a long time ago, and it was just a terrible experience. But I've done designs that other people have put on a mural. Like
Okay.
I don't, that part's great. Like I'll do
Yeah.
I've done a painting. I did a painting for Budweiser years ago of Harry
Cool.
Carey, and it was like it was like a 9x12 acrylic, I think, and then someone painted it like 30 feet big so that was
Oh,
cool.
wow.
So that I didn't have to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I even like plein air painting. Like I enjoy plein air painting
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I like the idea of getting out there and painting, but I usually just get so like some people are so into it, like they don't care. Like I can't handle if there's bugs.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Like I'm more of a studio type artist person. Like
Me too.
I don't like the sun.
Yeah. I feel you.
Like
No, it's true.
like I don't mow when I mow my grass, it's either early in the morning or it's like when the sun's going down. Like if it's like 90, I do not go outside.
Me
And
too.
I just don't go outside.
Nope.
Yeah.
I feel you. No, I do too. And I'm like a very like nature person, but it's always like in the fall, spring, like not the middle of summer. Like even I'm surfing
fall
in the
person.
fall. Yeah, always the fall.
Yeah, I love, like my wife and I, we took the kids this last weekend to there's this really cool place. It's a marsh that's like
Ooh.
not even maybe a mile away from our house, and it was really, really cool, but it was so hot, and I was getting eaten up by bugs and everything, and I got annoyed because I got bit like right here, and I had this huge bump, and I go like, I have a show tomorrow night, and I got to go up in front of people on stage with a big, but luckily it went away.
Oh,
But I was so like, oh, got this big bump on my face.
that's so annoying.
But the whole time we were both saying like, this is going to be so much nicer in the fall. Like
it
like,
is. Everything is.
Let's come back in the fall, because it's almost like miserable. Like you're just trying so hard to enjoy nature, but you're just I'm not good with the heat.
Yeah. Same.
But then there's people like my dad who will go plein air painting in the winter. Like he'll go in the summer with bugs, he doesn't care. And then in the winter time, he's out there in freezing cold painting, and I'm just like, you're legitimately nuts. Like you're a crazy person. Like
He sounds so interesting. Do you have like an interview with him on your podcast?
I do actually. Yeah,
I have to go listen
Yeah.
to it. Oh my god. I'm like, I need to hear more about him now. I'm very intrigued.
No, my dad is an intense person, and he's done, I think he's slowing down a little bit. He's almost 70.
Wow.
And he still does well over 300 paintings a year. Like,
oh my god, I want to see his work. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
constantly, and he's a musician, and he's always playing shows, and so he's that's where I get it from. Like,
Wow.
just
That's
he just
amazing.
doesn't stop. But I'm like, I go plein air painting with him
Aw.
sometimes, and I usually end up, I'll do like maybe 20 minutes, and I'm like, I'm gonna go watch my dad paint.
Wow.
Because I get annoyed, like the bugs and the sun keeps changing, and
Yeah.
but you know what, like plein air painting is one of those things. I don't know if you've done it before, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's every single time I've done it, it's like like going to school. It's such a
Yeah.
it really forces you to think about everything that you like, everything. Let's put it this way. Even if I go out and I do a plein air painting and I struggle and it doesn't turn out well, I know that I learned so much.
Absolutely.
Like,
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. It's always like one of those things where it's like, okay, well, I learned a lot about light today and different things, and
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Yeah, my favorite time ever. This coffee is bitching.
That's awesome.
my favorite time plein air painting ever was I went to Alaska with my dad, and
oh wow,
we went when he was teaching out there, and so I just went along and I painted for like a week, and it was so cool. But the thing that was great about it was because it was in Alaska, the lighting never changed, because it was like it's almost light all the time.
Wow.
And there was like it was in Juneau, and it has like this almost overcast all the time. So there was like this neutral, cool lighting constantly, and it was so awesome to paint because the lighting didn't really change.
Wow.
We're almost running out of time again. So it was really, really a fun way to do plein air painting, because I'm like, wow, I can just paint that. And so I would sit there and paint it, because the thing about plein air painting that's crazy is obviously the light changes every 2 seconds. The lighting's different and the shadows change, and you're like,
yes.
So anyways, Juneau, Alaska, it's a great place to go plein air painting.
I've always wanted to go to Alaska. It's funny you said that. One of my professors had went to Alaska and painted the icebergs, Peter Fiore, and it was like a really amazing series. And I've always wanted to go to Alaska. That's incredible.
Yeah,
I definitely want to go one day. I'm happy to hear that. Good reviews.
Oh no, it is beautiful up there. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. It's just
wow.
Like when my plane was landing, I looked out over we're going over the channel, and I saw humpback whales while the plane was landing.
No way.
It's like surfacing, and there's eagles everywhere. I saw bears. It was just amazing.
I've heard that. I've heard if you're into like painting animals and nature and the environment, that it's like a place that's a must see.
Oh yeah, even when I stepped outside of the airplane, it's just like the fresh air. I was like,
wow,
I've never breathed air like that.
That's before. Incredible.
Yeah, you got to go. It's amazing.
I absolutely will.
We only have like maybe 10 minutes, and this thing is going to shut down. Actually, let's see, 8 minutes. Okay, we have about a little over 8 minutes. So I thought maybe we'll share some of your work again, just kind of go through.
Sure.
And well, let me do this real quick. Okay. So now you should be able to share. I just thought it'd be fun to just look through some of your work and talk through this. And hopefully, I'll try to keep track of the time here.
Awesome.
So
I pulled up some more of my work. So I thought this piece was interesting to share because it's very sort of different. So I got invited to this special show called With Love, Your Biggest Fan. It was the 4th year for the gallery in Philly, actually, that has my solo show open. It was a group show. And you got to pick a movie. There was like an acceptable movie list, I guess, that was legal to use their movies and make fan art of it. And you were supposed to make a piece based on it. So I picked The Goonies. It's a classic. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of fun with this one, and it ended up being in like this really cool gold kind of parrot looking frame. It was really fun. And Travis has talked to me a lot about working in ovals. If you know his work, he does a lot of ovals. And I use the convex glass. So this one actually in person was a lot cooler to see. It had convex glass in front of it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Very fun
awesome.
Piece.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's see what else.
And by the way, let everybody know where they can find you online, just in case this does end, and at least we can get that out there.
Of course. Yeah. So just my name, Juliet Shreckinger. It's a long last name, but that's my Instagram handle. My website is julietshreckinger.com. And on Twitter, it is Shreckinger Art, because Juliet Shreckinger is too long. Okay. But that's where you could find me. And yeah, I'd love that. Thank you so much.
That's everyone's got to go follow. This is so cool. This piece is awesome.
This is a big one. This one's for the other gallery that I show with on the West Coast that I'm having the solo in October, Antler Gallery. That's a really big one. This is a little tiny piece like that. For example, the piece you just saw is I think it's like 15 by 18 or something like that. And this is only 3 inches by 5 inches. So that's like the size difference on that.
Wow.
This is like a pretty standard size piece. This is like 10 by 10.
Oh, it's so cool, man.
But it's been really fun. I've been just trying to experiment with a lot of different animals, but using my same technique, just trying to further my style and get better at what I do. I think there's always like room to refine it, probably until the day I die. There's just always room to refine it. I know. So it's just,
it's
it's always learning.
Yeah, you're always gonna keep. The more you do it, the faster, the better. That it's gonna always change.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So
absolutely. Cool. It's been really fun. I've learned a lot, and like I said, I've been really something that was like a New Year's resolution to me this year was like trying to photograph more of my own reference and actually go to these places that I love and draw and getting my own reference photos. So it's been really fun.
This is so cool.
Thank you. This is a personal favorite. That octopus character is like my favorite one. I draw him a lot.
Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, I loved it. I just love the design so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, they're fun. This is like a more graphite one. So this is like what it looks like when I just do like a pencil sketch kind of. This is a quicker one that I did for a mini show. But it's really fun.
It's awesome.
More of a cartoony one.
Whoa.
I think this one just won an award from wow, that's really bad. I don't know what it's called. That's embarrassing. 3x3 magazine.
Oh, cool.
3x3. A few of my pieces once. I think this is one of them.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was very excited about that.
It's
very fun. It's been really fun. A lot of it's inspired by because I live near the water. So like this bird, I took the actual photo of, and I got to go see it in person in the marshlands by me. It's really fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, I love drawing fish so much that the layering of the gills,
yes,
I just love that thickness, like when you really look at the thickness of their gills and like the different shadows. Like I think that's one thing I've drawn fish just for that purpose of just that part.
Wow. I love that.
You know how I don't know, like fish are just amazing. Like when you see them from that certain angle where you can see into their gills, and there's that thickness of there's so much there.
Yep, absolutely.
But that's a lot of fun to paint. I don't know. Yeah,
it is a lot of fun. No, it's really cool. That's awesome.
So anyways, this has been awesome. This has been so cool. We're almost out of time here, so I don't want to like cut short, but
of course,
thank you so much for joining me for this and sharing your work and just chatting. This has been a lot of fun. This has been so cool. Is there anything coming up that you want to let people know if they can find you? I mean, we got your website and everything else, but you got any like new things you're working towards?
Well, the solo show that I did in Philly will be up for another month, so that might be fun to check out. I don't know if anyone's in Philly. That's at Arch Enemy Arts in Philadelphia, and I have upcoming it's a big show. It's the biggest thing I've ever done. It's going to be, I think, 12 pieces in October in Portland, Oregon at Antler Gallery. And if you follow on my Instagram, I'm going to be posting. I have a lot of upcoming collaborations and probably something with Pangea Seed and a few other things in the works. So that'd be really awesome. You could follow along that on Instagram or my website.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And to everybody else, thank you so much for supporting the podcast and the Patreon. And spread the word, let people know about it. I'm trying to get as many people as possible to check this out. There's already a lot of cool content available. And yeah, so thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you so much. You're the best. Thank you so much for having me.
No, you're the best.